When I journal, I like to make sure my journal is an action-based journal. Instead of just thoughts and memories, I like to make sure that it's things that propel me forward in the right direction in the future. I do this through two different methods. The first one is through habit tracking. So I'll make a bunch of squares, 30 for the month, and then write each of the days. You can put a line through it if it makes it easier for you to track it and see. And then each of these will correlate to habit. So for example, this one I wrote gym over here, this one journal, and I'll usually do 4 to 5 different habits for a month. And then if I actually completed the habit, I will box this in. And if I missed it, I'll exit. And this is a really motivating way, for me at least, to see my progress and to see how well I've been doing with a certain habit and be inspired to not break the marked in boxes and not add any more X's. One rule for yourself, try to never ever break the chain, and if you do, definitely don't do it 2 times in a row. Another thing I like to do after that is for each day, I will write one note of a highlight that happened in the day. Maybe I went out with a friend and that was enjoyable. Maybe I posted a YouTube video. So I'll write something like posted YouTube video. I also write down numbers that I want to track. For example, my weight, for example, my current balance in my bank account. The next method that I like to do is I will write out hypothesis. I watched this in some other YouTube video and I've been using this technique. I'm going to link it in the bottom, but it's you write out a hypothesis and then you act on that hypothesis the next day. For example, I do sales for my freelance work as a videographer. My hypothesis is that if I go in person to 30 different businesses, 2 of them will be interested in my services. That's a hypothesis, and then I can try it out the next day. Go to 30 businesses, how many said yes, how many said no, how many seemed like they were interested, and then I can write down these results and track these day by day. So I have a hypothesis, and then I add stats to it to figure out what this would do for me. You can do that for weight as well. If I eat this many calories, I would guess that I will gain 1 pound of muscle every single week. And then track that on a scale. Track all your calories and then see what kind of results you had afterwards. So these 2 methods, by habit tracking and by writing down hypothesis, and then later on tracking and seeing, was I correct about that hypothesis? Do I need to tweak this a little bit? Using these forms of action-based journaling, I think, is a really effective way to change your behavior and make sure you're moving in the right direction instead of just journaling to ruminate and think about the past over and over.